Akanksha, and today we'll be talking about the paper Cognitive Psychology, Learning and Memory. This is an introductory session wherein we'll be talking about different blocks and units that this paper contains. So let's get started. So this paper has 4 different blocks. Block 1 is information processing. Block 2 is intelligence and creativity. Block 3 is language, and block 4 is problem solving. Now let us talk about what each block contains. For block 1, we have cognitive psychology as its first unit. In cognitive psychology, we'll be talking about the historical methods used involved in cognitive psychology, different domains of cognitive psychology, and different research methods which are used in cognitive psychology. In Unit 2, we'll be talking about information processing, wherein we'll be talking about different processes and different perspectives in information processing. In the third unit, we'll be talking about the neurophysiological basis of learning and memory. We'll be talking about the different brain structures which are involved in learning and memory, and different imaging techniques which are used to understand learning and memory, and the brain structures which are involved in learning and memory. In models of information, we'll be talking about the different models of information processing and the different levels of recall which are involved in the process of memory. In block 2, we have theories of intelligence as the first unit. In the first unit, we'll be talking about the historical perspectives of intelligence testing and how the theory developed, the different unifactor theories of intelligence, the different two-factor theories of intelligence like Spearman's theory, the past theory, and so on. In the second unit, which is multiple theories of intelligence, we'll be talking about the multiple theories of intelligence, the 8-factor theories of intelligence, and so on. In the third unit, which is measurement of intelligence, we will be dealing briefly with the history of intelligence testing. We're also talking about the different intelligence tests which have evolved over time, and currently what are the different intelligence tests which are being used. In the last unit of this block, which is creativity and problem solving, we will be talking about what is creativity, what are different processes involved in creativity, what is problem solving, and what are different processes which are involved in problem solving. Let us move on to what Unit 3 and 4 contains for us. So for block 3, we have language acquisition as our first unit, wherein we'll be talking about the different processes which are involved. And we'll be talking about the process of language acquisition from a very developmental perspective. In the second unit, which is language processing, we'll be talking about the processing of language from a developmental perspective as well. In the third unit, which is multilingualism and cognition, we'll be talking about different stages which are involved in development of a second language and the cognition and how it affects thinking and cognition in an individual. In the last unit, we'll be talking about the language and different speech disorders which evolves, what are the biological factors, what are the environmental factors, and what are the different brain structures which are involved in the language and speech disorders. In the fourth block, which is the last block of the paper, we'll be talking about problem solving, which is the nature of problem solving, what are the characteristics of problem solving, and what are the different stages of problem solving. We're talking about that in very detail in the second unit. In the third unit, we'll be talking about the theoretical approaches to problem solving, like the cognitive approach, the biological approach, the behavioral approach, etc. In the last unit of the paper, which is impediments to problem solving, we'll be talking about what are the different barriers like semantic, emotional, cognitive, social, and what are the techniques which we can develop in our learning strategies in order to help us better with the problem solving process. So this is all for this paper, and in the further sessions we'll be talking about each block and each unit in very minute details. And this is all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.